want you to remember that no bastard ever won a war by dying for his country.
In 1970, a biographical war film about a controversial World War II general became one of the most celebrated movies in Hollywood history, winning 7 Academy Awards including Best Picture. But Patton wasn't just a triumph of filmmaking, it was a calculated risk that almost didn't happen, filled with behind-the-scenes battles, casting disasters narrowly avoided, and performances that fundamentally changed how we remember history itself. The cast and crew kept secrets for decades about what really went down during production. Today, we're finally uncovering the truth fans missed about Patton, from George C. Scott's rebellious genius to the historical liberties that shaped our understanding of war forever. Number 1. The iconic flag speech. The movie explodes to life with General Patton standing before a massive American flag, delivering that legendary monologue. No bastard ever won a war by dying for his country. He won it by making the other poor dumb bastard die for his country. It's pure cinema adrenaline, defiant, shocking, instantly unforgettable. But here's the twist. George C. Scott hated the idea. He genuinely believed opening with such a powerful scene would overshadow the entire film. He worried audiences would leave the theater thinking only about those first few minutes, everything else forgotten. Director Franklin J. Schaffner had to fight to keep it, arguing the speech would set the tone, not steal the show. Schaffner won that battle, and history proved him right. That opening didn't just work. It became one of the most iconic moments in American cinema, a masterclass in how to grab an audience by the throat and never let go. Number 2. That giant flag. Look at that massive American flag towering behind Patton during his speech. It feels enormous, patriotic, real, except it wasn't. That flag wasn't fabric at all. It was painted directly onto the studio wall for the scene. The production needed scale, needed that overwhelming visual punch to match the power of Scott's performance. A real flag wouldn't have had the control, the perfect positioning, the sheer size required to make the shot work. So they painted it, created the illusion of something monumental, and audiences bought it completely. It's a perfect metaphor for the film itself. Sometimes the most powerful truths are constructed, carefully designed to feel more real than reality. Number 3. They softened Patton's real language. General George S. Patton was famous for his profanity. The man could swear like nobody's business, unleashing vocabulary that would make modern audiences blush. But the filmmakers faced a problem. Capture Patton's authentic voice or keep the film accessible to wider audiences? They chose compromise. Even in that legendary opening monologue, certain words were replaced, toned down to avoid an R rating. The real Patton used language far harsher than what made it to screen. The studio wanted prestige, wanted awards, wanted families able to watch, so they sanitized the general just enough to keep the MPAA happy. It worked. The film earned its PG rating, reached massive audiences, and still felt authentic enough that most viewers never questioned it. Patton's fury came through in performance, not profanity. Number 4. Scott's voice was the opposite of the real Patton. George C. Scott's performance is legendary, that gravelly, commanding voice, deep and authoritative, dripping with power and menace. It's become the definitive Patton voice in popular memory, but historians have a problem with it. That's not what Patton actually sounded like. The real General Patton had a higher, more nasal voice, nothing like Scott's thunderous bass. Recordings and accounts describe Patton's actual speaking voice as almost surprisingly thin, not matching his tough guy image at all. Scott made a choice, truth or cinema. He chose cinema, gave audiences the voice they expected, the voice that matched Patton's legend rather than his reality. It's perfect for the film, selling the character's dominance in every scene, but historically accurate, not even close. Number 5. The uniforms. Look closely at Patton's uniform in that opening scene. The medals, the insignia, the details, they're replicas of Patton's actual awards researched and recreated with care. The production wanted authenticity, wanted to honor the real man, but they also wanted drama, so they stacked those medals in ways Patton didn't actually wear in public. They created what costume designers call movie truth, close enough to feel real, dramatic enough to look cinematic. The opening scene also implies a rank and era mashup, combining elements from different periods of Patton's career for maximum visual impact. It's authentic and theatrical at the same time, walking that fine line between documentary accuracy and Hollywood spectacle. The general you're watching is Patton, and also something bigger than Patton, a symbol designed for the big screen. Number 6. George C. Scott won Best Actor. The 1971 Academy Awards ceremony happened, votes were counted, and George C. Scott won Best Actor for Patton. It was one of the most acclaimed performances of the year, maybe the decade. Hollywood wanted to celebrate him, wanted him on that stage accepting his award. Scott said no, not just, "I can't attend tonight." He refused the Oscar completely, objecting to the entire concept of acting competitions. He'd warned the Academy beforehand, told them he didn't believe actors should compete like athletes, asked them not to nominate him. They nominated him anyway. He won anyway, and he refused anyway, becoming only the second actor in history to decline the award. His reasoning was simple. Acting isn't a contest, and pretending it is diminishes the art. Hollywood was scandalized, but Scott didn't care. He'd made his point, and nothing would change his mind. Number 7. Francis Ford Coppola co-wrote the screenplay. Before The Godfather changed cinema forever, before Apocalypse Now became legend, before Francis Ford Coppola became Francis Ford Coppola, he co-wrote the screenplay for Patton. Yeah, that Coppola. He collaborated with Edmund H. North, two writers bringing different sensibilities to a complex story. Coppola was young, hungry, full of ideas about character and contradiction. North brought experience and structure. Together they created a screenplay that won the Oscar for Best Adapted Screenplay, capturing Patton's brilliance and madness in equal measure. Coppola later said the Patton experience taught him crucial lessons about character complexity and moral ambiguity, lessons that would define his greatest films. You can see the seeds of his future work in Patton's tortured genius, a man at war with himself as much as his enemies. Number 8. Shot on huge, epic film stock. In 1970, most films were shot on standard 35mm film. Patton said, "No thanks to standard." The production filmed in 65mm dimension 150, a large format process that made everything bigger, sharper, more immersive than regular filmmaking could achieve. This wasn't just technical specs, it was a statement. The format made battle sequences feel genuinely epic, made landscapes stretch across the frame with breathtaking scale. When tanks rolled across North African deserts or snow-covered European battlefields, audiences felt the enormity, the crushing weight of war. The investment paid off. Patton looked different from other war films, felt different, demanded to be seen on the biggest screens possible. It was cinema as spectacle, technology serving story in ways that still impress over 50 years later. Number 9. Spain was the secret weapon for scale. The production shot across 71 locations in 6 countries, chasing authenticity across continents. But Spain did the heavy lifting, becoming the film's secret weapon for epic scale. Why Spain? Wide terrain that could double for multiple locations, access to thousands of extras willing to work for reasonable rates, cooperation from the Spanish army providing period-appropriate hardware and vehicles that made battle scenes feel massive instead of staged, and crucially, Spanish authorities welcomed big Hollywood productions, making logistics easier than many other European countries. Spain gave Patton its scope, its visual grandeur, its ability to stage combat sequences that felt like actual battles rather than movie tricks. Without Spanish cooperation, the film would have looked completely different, smaller, less impressive, missing that epic quality that defined it. Number 10. Thousands of soldiers became extras. The Battle of El Guetar sequence, one of the film's most impressive combat scenes, used over 2,000 Spanish army personnel as troops, not actors pretending to be soldiers, actual soldiers, playing soldiers, bringing authenticity to every frame. This was logistically insane. Coordinating thousands of people in period uniforms, staging realistic combat movements, capturing it all on 65mm film, it required military precision just to organize. But the result speaks for itself. Those battle scenes feel genuinely massive, genuinely chaotic, genuinely real in ways that modern CGI still struggles to match. When you watch those sequences, you're seeing something increasingly rare in cinema: actual scale, actual bodies, actual physical presence filling the screen. It's why the film's battles still hold up decades later, why they feel weighty and consequential rather than fake and floaty. Number 11. The Battle of the Bulge. Snow was a chase the weather moment. Winter scenes for the Battle of the Bulge sequence required snow, authentic, realistic snow covering the landscape. But you can't order weather on command, can't schedule nature to cooperate with your filming schedule. So when snow appeared near Segovia, Spain, production rushed to capture it. They mobilized crews, moved equipment, got actors and extras ready, and filmed as fast as humanly possible before conditions changed. It was controlled chaos, a race against melting snow and changing skies. That's filmmaking at its most unpredictable. Months of planning can't control nature, can't guarantee the elements you need will appear when you need them. But when they do appear, you grab your cameras and capture magic before it disappears. Number 12. North Africa. Cheat codes. Morocco became ancient history. One scene implies the ruins of Carthage, ancient, historically significant, perfect for Patton's obsession with military history. But the production didn't film in Tunisia where Carthage actually stood. They filmed at Volubilis, Morocco, an ancient Roman site that instantly reads as Old World on camera. This is cinema's geography trick. Audiences don't fact-check locations while watching, don't pause to verify whether those ruins are historically accurate to the scene's supposed setting. They see ancient stones, feel the weight of history, and buy the illusion completely. Volubilis gave the filmmakers everything they needed, visual authenticity without the complications of filming at actual Carthage. It's movie magic at its most practical, finding locations that feel right even when they're geographically wrong. Number 13. Some battle footage didn't make the final cut. The production filmed a sizable amount of combat footage that never made it into the theatrical release. Entire sequences, carefully choreographed and expensively shot, ended up on the cutting room floor. Why cut so much? Pacing. The film already ran over 2 hours and 40 minutes. Adding more battle footage would have made it feel bloated, would have slowed the character study at the story's heart. Sometimes more isn't better, and the editors understood that Patton worked best when it balanced action with introspection. But that cut footage didn't disappear forever. Later, material found a second life in other productions, used to enhance different films' battle sequences. In Hollywood, nothing truly goes to waste. One film's deleted scenes become another film's assets. Number 14. A real on-location detail. Slips in Knutsford. The dedication scene in Knutsford, Cheshire, where Patton makes controversial remarks that nearly end his career, was filmed at the actual location where the real incident occurred. Not a soundstage recreation, not a similar-looking town, the actual place. This detail grounds the film's history texture, adding authenticity that most viewers won't consciously notice, but will subconsciously feel. When you're standing where history actually happened, something transfers to the screen, a weight, a realness that set dressing can't fully replicate. It's a small choice in a massive production, but it reflects the filmmaker's commitment to honoring the real story even as they dramatized it for cinema. Number 15. Jerry Goldsmith's score is a character. Jerry Goldsmith's music doesn't just support Patton, it interprets him. The score is proud and haunted, ceremonial and restless, capturing Patton's contradictions better than dialogue ever could. The Academy nominated it for Best Original Score, and those distinctive trumpets became instantly legendary, martial, ghostly, unforgettable. Goldsmith understood that great scores do more than accompany images. They deepen meaning, turning music into Patton's inner voice. Number 16. Those ghostly trumpets are a technical trick. How did Goldsmith create that distinctive, haunting trumpet sound? Technical manipulation. He used two trumpets playing a repeating three-note idea, then manipulated them with delay-like spacing, creating echoes that feel like memory itself. It's both present and distant, powerful and melancholic. This sophisticated 1970s studio work created emotional effects audiences felt without understanding the mechanics. The trumpets became the part of Patton that lived for war while knowing war couldn't last forever. Number 17. The film leans into Patton's inner contradiction. The most emotional through line isn't war hero versus enemy, it's Patton versus himself. Brilliance fighting ego, obsession confronting reality, the fear that peace will erase him. This internal conflict drives the film's most powerful moments. His frustration, his controversial remarks, his realization that history is moving on without him. The film presents Patton as deeply human, flawed, complicated, brilliant, and broken. We're watching a man trapped by his own nature, unable to exist outside war. Number 18. Casting could have been totally different. George C. Scott's performance seems inevitable now, but several major stars reportedly turned down the Patton role before Scott accepted it. Hollywood's full of what-if stories, roles that defined careers but were offered to others first. It's a reminder that casting is part luck, part timing, part fate. The right actor finding the right role at the right moment creates magic. Scott and Patton found each other just in time. Number 19. It was a roadshow-style event film. Patton premiered in New York in early February 1970 as a roadshow-style event film, reserved seating, higher ticket prices, limited engagements designed to create buzz. It rolled out gradually, building word of mouth and positioning itself for awards season. This kind of release is mostly dead now, killed by wide releases and digital distribution. But in 1970, it made Patton feel special, significant, like the kind of film you couldn't miss. Number 20. Its early TV broadcast was unusually fast. The film aired on ABC in November 1972, only about 2 years after theatrical release. Shockingly fast for the era. ABC paid big money betting the film's popularity would translate to massive ratings. They were right. It became one of the highest-rated television events of the year. This proved Patton had transcended being just a good film to become a genuine cultural phenomenon, ensuring its legacy would continue for decades. From refused Oscars to painted flags to Francis Ford Coppola's hidden involvement, Patton remains one of cinema's most fascinating productions. If you love classic Hollywood secrets, hit that subscribe button for more forgotten film facts. Now, go watch that opening speech again. It hits different when you know Scott didn't want to do it.